Happy Sunday, everyone, and happy new week to you all. I hope you all are doing well. May God bless you all. Today's topic is will, and my text is taken in John 4, verse 34. Jesus said, "My food is to do the will of him who sent me and to finish it." That is what Jesus told his disciples. So when Jesus was here on earth, he did the will of God. He obeyed. He did everything God asked him to do. For you and I to do the will of God, we must come from the place of obedience. We must obey. The will of God comes by obeying God, doing everything God has asked us to do. You cannot fulfill the will of God if you are not working in obedience. I cannot fulfill the will of God if I'm not working in obedience. It comes by the place of obeying. He said, "My food is to do the will of him who sent me and to finish it." The same thing for you and I. God created us here on earth to honor him, to do the assignment he has called us to do here on earth. But we must carry that assignment by obeying, by walking in obedience to God. This is the only way we can fulfill the will of God. This is the only way that we can do his will. His will comes by obeying him. So if you want to do the will of God, you must come to the place of obedience. I must come to the place of obedience. Because if God said, "I want you to do this," and that is the will of God for you to do that, and if you don't obey and do it, you have not done his will. If God said that he wants me to do this, and that is his will for me to do it, if I don't obey, do it, I have not done his will. So many people said, "I'm doing the will of God." If we are doing the will of God and we are walking in disobedience, we are not doing his will, because his will comes by obeying, by doing what he has asked us to do, by doing exactly that thing God has asked us to do. We must do it by obeying and doing it. I pray that as we hear his word, that the grace for you and I to do the will of God, the grace for we to do it, come to the place of obedience. Obey everything that God has told us. Obey everything God wants us to do, because his will come by living right, living righteous, living holy, staying away from sin. You cannot live in sin and say you're fulfilling the will of God. We cannot live in sin and say we are fulfilling the will of God. So I pray that the grace of God should rest upon us, that God will help you and I to do his will by living in obedience, by obeying him. In Jesus' name,